Hello, beautiful people. I'm here to talk about attitude adjustments. Yeah, you can change your attitude from like where I found myself the other day, super cranky and irritated, to feeling in the flow and much happier. And we're going to talk about how to do that today. Hey, Stuffy Joe, glad you're here. So, how do we change those attitudes? It's all about our necks and communicating, right? So, when I get cranky, it's because my needs are not being met. Something in my life is happening that isn't really fulfilling what I need in the moment. And the only way to get my needs met is to ask for what I need. But if you're like me, I didn't even know what I needed. So how do we figure that all out? Well, it's really very super simple. There's a communication, hey Elizabeth, there's a communication process called NVC, nonviolent communication. I love it. I've been practicing it for years, and it's super, super effective to communicate what you need. But it starts out, the whole process starts out with observation, like really noticing what's going on with you. So again, like I oftentimes skip the observation part and then I'm full on into being cranky, just irritable, whatever. Hey, Martha. And when I'm there, then I'm there, and then I'm just like full on in it. And it's like, And so I've skipped observing myself. So it's a practice, like, right? So if we practice just noticing what's going on in our bodies, how we feel, how we're handling certain things, before we get into those really stressful times, then we have an opportunity. Hey guys, hey, Sue, yay, I'm glad you're on. We have an opportunity to really notice in those tough times. So if I sit back and just practice noticing, like when nothing really much is going on, I'm just like, how do I feel? How does my body feel? What's going on inside of me? Then when the stress comes, I can be like, oh, I am noticing like I am getting angry or frustrated or irritated or whatever. So step one in good communication is to observe, to really start to notice what's going on inside of yourself. Step two, feelings. How are you feeling? Oh, that's such a big one. The time that we grew up in, feelings were not considered, very valuable. It was all about what we were thinking about. And like we got kudos for going to school and getting straight A's and, whatever. It was all about what we were learning and what we knew all about our thinking. So we have to learn about feelings. And I do this whole thing called the emotional guidance system where you reinstate it. And I love it. It saved me. It gave me my feelings back. And if you want more information about it, just contact me at hello@agelessmovemore.com. But yeah, we have to understand what we're feeling. And so I was noticing the other day that I was getting cranky. I was super irritable, but of course I was already all the way out to blaming other people and pulling my hair out and stuff. But even though I had practiced, it just I was way out there. And then when I noticed, I was like, oh, I'm irritated. Yeah. And then step three is stepping back from that feeling and saying, okay, what need is not being met? So if I'm going into the lower emotions, anywhere from depression to fear to anxiety to anger, frustration, overwhelm, pessimism, some need is not being met. Now, when I get into optimism, optimism all the way up to joy, my needs are being met. So when I'm in that place where my needs aren't being met, I just stop and say, what is it? What need is not being met? Well, the other day, what I determined is I was irritable because I was overwhelmed because we had this huge remodel project going on, right? Always remodeling, can really, really get you. And I felt completely responsible for it. So I needed help. I needed assistance. I needed my partner to know that my partner was there. In actuality, he was really stepping up, but I wasn't really giving him credit for it. And I was the one who needed to let go of some things. So once I realized that, okay, I just need to let go of some things, then I sat down with my partner and I said, hey, thanks for doing a good job. I've been feeling a little overwhelmed. Is there anything else you can take off my plate? So I was able then to ask for what I wanted. And of course, then it worked out and I was no longer cranky and irritable. It's amazing. It's such a great tool. So the 4 steps, they're simple steps. I call it, the 4-step dance of nonviolent communication is first notice, second, understand how you feel. So pick a feeling. And then from there, decide what need is not being met if you're in the lower emotions. You could also, if you're in joy, really say, okay, what need is being met? It's amazing, right? And then you can be like, yes, that need to be seen was met and I feel joyful or whatever it is. And then ask for what you need or what you want. And then there, of course, is accepting the answers, right? And oftentimes I don't even have to ask someone else. I just have to ask myself. That's the beauty of it. So I wanted to say one more thing because my partner and I practice a communication technique called counsel, where when we need to sit down and talk, we pick something that's like a talking stick. We usually use a seashell. And whoever called the counsel holds on to it, and they get to talk until they're done, and then the other person talks. Because sometimes when you're really irritable and you're frustrated, you might be all over that other person. So that stops that process and then gives you the opportunity to pass on the talking stick to the other person, and they can say what they need to say too. It has helped us so much in our communication. So to change your attitude, it's good communication. Now I'm going to give you a way to work with your body, but let me just check in with you guys. Hey, Leanne. Oh, Karen, Casey, Sandy, yay. Okay, Birdie Beard, can hunger be one of those needs? Absolutely, Martha. Yes, that's so good. Hey, Natasha, hunger is definitely a need. And it can send me personally into anger like that. So I always check in to see if I'm hungry, because sometimes just a little handful of nuts helps me to get back into the higher emotions and calm down. All right, so if you're going to follow the movement, go grab your strap. This move I absolutely love. It's a quick way for me to open my neck. And so if you find yourself in those really cranky places like I did the other day, and I just was in it, I went off into it. One of the ways, and that's why I thought about putting up this whole practice, one of the ways that I kind of got back to noticing me is I opened my neck. And I did it this quick way because I was really busy. So this is awesome. So hopefully you have your strap. And I have a loop in it, but that's not necessary. It's just you're going to grab your strap, put it out long, and you're going to place it in the back of your skull. So not on your neck, on the back of your skull, just about mid-skull. And then I'm going to bring my hands, and they're going to be even in front of my face. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my head back into the strap and pull my hands forward so there's resistance. right? And then I'm just gonna keep that. And as I do that, I'm drawing my shoulder blades down and back and in toward my spine. Ha, ha. So do it with me and breathe. Ha, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Saying ha like a relief. Ha, we're so relieved to stop our cranky attitudes into ha, understand how to communicate better. Ha, keep going. Ha. Now sometimes I like to look down into my armpit as I do this. Ha, it just gives me like a little different release on one side of my neck. Ha. Ha. I come back to center. Ha. Keep that resistance going. And I look into the other armpit. Ha. 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 And then I come back to center. Ha. I'm really pulling my shoulder blades down and back. Ha. And then I'm going to let go. And notice if you were doing it with me, oh my gosh, the letting go. It's like my head is floating off of my body. So hopefully you feel that floaty thing too. All right, does anybody have, hey Lindsay, glad you're here. Does anybody have any questions about communication or releasing your neck? Let me know. So I'm encouraging you to do the whole communication neck release practice this week. It's a little different than the neck releasing practices we've done in the past, and it's going to really give you some great ways to open your throat to communicate what you, well, first inside of yourself, what you're feeling, what you need, and then communicate outside of yourself. Just go ask for what you need from whoever can provide that for you. And if it's not them, ask it from yourself. It's beautiful. All right, so good to be with you. Hop on to agelessmovemore.com and do your ageless movement practice this week. And if you're not signed up with us, join us. This practice rocks. It will change your world. Mwah! Bye.